I'm delighted to be speaking with Sharon Williams, and we're going to look at the topic of how to engage with social media. So hello Sharon, thank you for joining us. So look, everyone is either kind of getting engaged in social media or it's kind of on their wish list. But what are the things that we should be thinking about before we kind of leap in as a business into social media?
Okay, I think as business owners we have lots of hats. So we're financial controller, we're operations, we're HR, and I think social media comes very firmly under the branding and the marketing hat, but also under the risk hat. So I think it's very important to engage now, and I think it's important to be consistent when you do engage.
And so by being consistent, what do you mean exactly? What sort of things should we be thinking about?
Right. I think with social media now, the very least we should be thinking about is using it as a database. Okay. So using LinkedIn and Facebook as a database to draw the databases you've had in your business now online. Okay. So that would be step one, to be the most practical.
So that's to kind of invite all the people that you know to join you in this new social space.
Absolutely. Yes? Okay. I would suggest that's the first way to go, just slowly, probably with LinkedIn. Yeah. And then to start looking at blogging on your website and start looking at the other people that are blogging in your industry to get some ideas on how that would be. Okay.
It seems that a lot of people that, and I know a number of people watching this will have taken some of those steps, but there still seems to me to be a bit of confusion over, is it a place to sell and promote, or is it a place to engage and commune? Do you have an opinion on that?
Well, I think every communication out there ultimately you hope is going to end in some sort of sell, whether that sell is loyalty or whether it's actually someone going to purchase something. But the rules of social media are not to go and sell, but to engage and add value and draw in.
Okay. So in your own business, how are you doing this? How do you find that you're able to engage people in the way that you want to?
We started slowly by LinkedIn, and I got my graduates in to show me how to do this and tell me what was exciting for them, because they're right in the core of the skill set. We started getting everybody onto LinkedIn. We got a Facebook site. We've started tweeting through Twitter, and we have several hundred followers now on Twitter. And we also moved more from our newsletters, which we still do online, but to blogging.
Yeah, okay.
So we've turned more to blogging than to perhaps the traditional ways of sending out a letter and stamping an envelope, and sending out an electronic direct marketing campaign, or indeed having postcards printed and sending them out. Now you can do all that online.
Sure, yeah.
And save money.
One point that you mentioned there is that you spoke to people within your business who were, as you said, kind of recent graduates, so people that are kind of closer to all of this. Is that advice that you'd give a business? Do we need, if it's a space that we just don't know, should we be going out and speaking to people who are sort of entrenched in Facebook and LinkedIn and so on?
Robert, I would say that's rule number one. Right, go and do the research and talk to people who are doing it already and learn from their mistakes. I think that's the golden rule across a business, full stop. Okay. But go and find the people who are doing it.
Okay, so observe those that are doing it and learn from people who know a lot more than you know.
Yes, absolutely. There's also an awful lot written on the net at the moment about fast tips on how to do things. So it's very helpful. We're continually downloading on information as well as driving information via my blog, and collating all that information and turning it into fast tips and sending that out to our customers and our prospects to try and add value.
Okay, so in your business, are you blogging yourself? You're writing it yourself, or again you kind of get some help with that? How does that work?
I blog. My team tend to do the research for me because I put a lot of stats and research in my blogs. I'm the 9MSN small business blogger, so that's very exciting. It was a big commitment. It's once a week that I have to write to thousands of people and keep them engaged. And we also blog as Taurus, and we guest blog, so we get invited to blog and pass comment on other people's blogs.
But again, the key word you mentioned there is research, so you have, whether it's yourself or others, you do a lot of research before you get in and start writing.
Yes, and that's usually on the topic. So one of the things that when you're blogging, you have to be topical and relevant, and to be topical and relevant, you usually have to research your topic. So it's actually quite exciting because every week I get to be an expert on something. Right. And the team do all the stats, and I'm able to form a conclusion from those.
Okay. Well, look, thank you for being our expert today. If we want to find out more about you, we go, I think, to www.taurusmarketing.com.au.
That's right.
Okay, Sharon, thank you very much for joining us.
Pleasure.
Thank you.